Happy Monday and happy November, everyone. I am Mike Odyssey, and well, Nintendo just left one of the most important features in their kind of biggest announcement in October, and we're going to be talking about that today as the main topic of the video. Of course, that along with a lot of other little stories inside of the world of Nintendo in our speedrun news section. So, if you are excited for Nintendo news and for what Nintendo has in store, consider subscribing here. Look, we are on our way to 60K. Right now, we are giving away a Nintendo Switch 2 when we get that there. All right, now our next milestone is actually 55,000. We're just literally, I think, 50 subscribers away from that, and we have a lot more people who watch this channel that are not subscribed yet, but you have the power to get us there. 55,000 subscribers to this video. This is it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let's go ahead and get into the news for today. All right, so first in the news, we have news with Fortnite and the Simpsons collaboration, which, by the way, I took a glance at and it looks incredible. Guess what? It starts today. Yes, you can go into the world of Fortnite and go straight into Springfield in the world of the Simpsons today. And you guys are going to have so much fun with it. You know that Simpsons is not the only company Fortnite is looking to collaborate with. Yes, we have another one, Harry Potter. Harry Potter is reportedly the next Fortnite collaboration. This is going to be interesting. I want to see how they do this one, right? How they going to recreate the entire world of Harry Potter in Fortnite. It's gonna be crazy. You know, you're gonna have those flying brooms everywhere. We have another collab with SpongeBob, so you're finally gonna get to go to Bikini Bottom with SpongeBob in the world of Fortnite. So it looks like Fortnite has a good line of collaborations coming forward. Next in the news, we have Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment demo is now out at Best Buy, GameStop, Target, and Walmart. I myself would have been one of the first to run there and play it, but I want to wait. We only got 3 more days left for this game to come out, and so I already have it downloaded on my system. I cannot wait to play it in my Switch, and I don't want to get spoiled over at the demo area, right? You can't even continue to play it, so I might as well play Age of Imprisonment. Or you want to kind of maybe decide whether you want to play it, buy it, play the demo before you buy the game, then go ahead. It's at Best Buy, GameStop, Target, and Walmart. You can go ahead and play that demo, and maybe you can just decide whether you want to go ahead and jump into the world of Hyrule and The Legend of Zelda in Age of Imprisonment. All right, in other news, we got Ubisoft is in the news again, and Ubisoft is working on more than one Rayman project, and that's very exciting for all Rayman fans around the world. And I cannot wait to see what they have in store. I'm a Ubisoft partner, and so I can't really speak too much on this front. But I can tell you, hey, it's out there. There is another Rayman in development, and I cannot wait to see what it looks like and how it plays. All right, in other news, we got the Nintendo Switch is about to become the #1 selling system for Nintendo. Now, right now we have the Nintendo DS at 154 million units sold, and just right below it is the Nintendo Switch at 153.10 million units sold, right? Under a million units to surpass the Nintendo DS. And I planted this question over on X, and I want to ask you guys about this. Do you think it's fair that the Nintendo Switch will take the #1 spot, knowing that the system is only one, the Nintendo Switch? They're counting the Lite, the OLED, and the Switch, right? Against just the DS, which, by the way, at the time was going against the GameCube. And that is it for Speedrun News. Let's go ahead and get into the main topic of today. And we're talking about Animal Crossing. Yes, Animal Crossing received one of the biggest updates in a long time. Yes, version 3. And when we all thought Animal Crossing was done, well, Nintendo came back and gave us this massive announcement towards the end of October that Animal Crossing will be getting a Switch 2 edition, but most importantly, version 3 for all consoles, Switch 1 and Switch 2. Now, the Switch 2, just to clear it out, the version 3 is for everyone, Switch 1 and Switch 2. Don't think you have to buy a Switch in order to get all the amazing updates. The only thing you will get for Switch 2, the Switch 2 edition, is the mouse control, anything that involves the Nintendo Switch, right? If you have the Nintendo Switch 2, and well, you have the mouse control features right here, you have a microphone here, anything that involves this right here. So you get a resolution button 4K, you'll get the mouse control features, and then you'll get the mic. So the little what do you call it? Let me know. I get brain farts all the time. But the megaphone feature, will you call out your villagers? You'll need the Nintendo Switch 2 because it has a microphone, right? The mouse features, well, you need the Nintendo Switch 2 because it has a mouse feature. And of course, the resolution update to 4K. This is a 4K system, and so those are the only features that come with the Switch 2 update. Okay, now every other feature will be available on both Switch 2 and Switch 1. Everything available in version 3. Now, you guys know everything that they mentioned, but there is one thing they did not mention during the presentation that is one of the biggest features and most requested features. And, well, somebody just scouted that over on their website because they just casually dropped it. Let's go ahead and read here. It says, Animal Crossing New Horizon Switch 2 update trailer didn't bother to mention one of the biggest quality of life changes coming to the Nintendo Switch game, and despite fans begging for it since launch. It says here, the Animal Crossing New Horizons update best features wasn't even included in the announcement video. Instead, it was a throwaway line on Nintendo Switch website. Animal Crossing New Horizons was an interesting departure in some ways. Namely, the game had a ton of crafting and building elements in the early hours for players to get through before they arrived at the what can be considered the traditional Animal Crossing experience. And one of the biggest issues there was, it wasn't exactly the most intuitive game when it came to crafting, requiring players to carry materials in their limited inventory space and craft items one at a time. Now, with this update, after 40 years of silence, Nintendo confirmed Animal Crossing New Horizons will be getting a major new update for the original Switch version alongside the release of Switch 2 Edition. Now, while the trailer did spark a glimmer of hope with a split-second look at bulk crafting, there was no confirmation of other changes in the same vein. But as it turns out, okay, this is new information just dropped today. Nintendo didn't think it was interesting enough for a shout out. And look what we're talking about, guys. Look what we're talking about here. Okay, take a look. It's right here. It's right here. You can now craft items in batch, pulling materials directly from your storage. That is nuts. That means you no longer have to go to your storage and bring items to your little small inventory you carry around with you in order to craft your items. You can now just craft at any moment, at any time, as long as you have the item, whether on you or in storage. That is a massive, massive, massive deal for Animal Crossings everywhere when it comes to crafting, right? It's a quality of life improvement that, yeah, I personally didn't ask for, and I just, it's convenient. It's convenient, literally, like, you know, you don't have to go into your storage and check if you have the item. If you just have, you just store things in your storage. And I think that's why they increased the storage size to 9,000 items, just because you can just couldn't store stuff. Just store it, you know, don't even think about it. And if you need it to craft, you have it, right? And so it's crazy how they just didn't, you know, they didn't add this. I mean, like, I guess they wanted to keep something a surprise, right? But I guess the bigger one was the batch crafting. You have that new crafting table they showed on the screen, and you can now batch craft like items, multiple items, right? Now, on top of that, you don't even have to carry the item. You can just have it stored in your house, and the item will be available as you visit any crafting table around the island. You'll see that item already available to craft without having to carry that personal little ingredient, right? And so I'm for Nintendo keeping things, you know, for later, right? Not to give us everything on the spot. I like to be surprised like this. To me, this was a good surprise for today, right? Rather than on the day of the presentation. And that right here, let's go ahead and read here. With Nintendo so nonchalantly confirming one of the most requested features for the game ever, one user took to Twitter to note, that's the number one thing I've been asking for, and they just don't mention it. Another sums things nicely. holy crap, it's about time. And so here we have it. I mean, it's just crazy. Shout out to Chase247, who was the one who discovered this, and of course they credit this Twitter user here on the channel. I mean, I love this about Nintendo. They'll just give you features. You know, they don't even mention it. It's a big feature, and you'll find out later on. And I think it's cool, right? It's cool. I'm looking forward to what Nintendo has in store. You know, the Animal Crossing New Horizons is a well-beloved game. They just gave us a couple more months, maybe a year more of gameplay for this series. And who knows whether the updates now continue? Because if this is version 3, the question is, will we get a 2025 New Year banner? Which is like the thing everybody is requesting. My friends, let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. All right, that wraps up today's news. But before we end, I always like to share what I call a quick power-up for life. A little boost of faith to keep your heart leveled up. Totally optional. So if you're heading out, have an amazing day and keep gaming on. But if you're sticking around, let's power up together. All right, so today's power-up is titled Keep Pressing Start. And we're going to read here from verse Galatians 6:9, and it says, "Let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up." Now, think about playing The Legend of Zelda. You might fall into a dungeon, lose your heart, and see that dreaded game over screen. But what do? You press start again, you reload, you re-strategize, and you go back into the battle. In life, it's easy to get tired when things don't work out the way we want to, right? Whether it be career, it could be health, it could be relationship-wise. But God's timing is perfect, and every time we hit continue is an invitation to trust Him a little bit more. Hey, and your breakthrough might just be one restart away. So when you feel like giving up today, whisper to yourself, instead of pressing end game, press continue game. And then do one small action towards that goal. One thing I can assure is that God can turn every one of your small steps into a mighty victory. That's going to do it for today's video. Never give up and journey on. Peace.